Hello everyone, this is Bryant with SFOTsource.com, your premier guide to Six Flags Over Texas. We're here at Six Flags Over Texas. Nice, warm, sunny day. Summer is approaching. There's all kinds of things going on at the park, so we want to give you an update. As you know, there's a couple restaurants that are coming our way, so we'll check out the progress of that. We'll kind of see what other improvements they've done around the park. We have all of the stuff going on with Looney Tunes Mall. We also know that Mr. Freeze has reopened. So even though we had that small fire, it does look like things are good to go. And of course, the other kind of big elephant in the room is Titan. So we'll talk about that a little bit once we get inside. So let's head into the park. One thing I actually wanted to point out before we head into the park is they have added another queue line out here, kind of near security, near this guest relations booth out here. And this is very obviously for the tram. So I know we were a little critical before about them making it look like they were getting rid of the tram just because of how they kind of restructured this front area. But it does look like they do plan on running that more often. And we made our way inside the park. You can see the carousel there in front of us with a brand new Six Flags Over Texas sign on it. But here to the right, once you pass Flash Pass, you can see the brand new location for My Six Flags Photo. So it used to be around the corner on the end of Looney Tunes Mall, but that is now a guest relations booth. So this is where you will go in the future to access those Six Flags photos if you want to make a purchase, do anything like that. And just like we pointed out before, you can see there's that big old Six Flags Over Texas sign, bringing it all together right there on the carousel building. Now over here to the left is where we thought Katz's Coffee was going, but I do believe that has changed. It hasn't quite changed on the map yet, but you can see that they've made a lot of progress on these buildings, just kind of remodeling it. So I think we can expect some kind of probably gift shop type of situation here, but it is starting to come together and look pretty good. So no complaints here, but like I said, I don't think this is where the coffee place is going anymore. Made our way into the Mexico section right across from the entrance to Spain, and you can see right in front of us we have brand new wait time TVs. So if you're curious what the wait is, if a ride's open, if it's closed, several of these have popped up around the park. So you can just look at this. You can see Runaway Mountain as a 20-minute wait. Pirates of Spelunker Cave, which also is the Joker. It says it's closed, even though we know it's in previews, but this is a really good idea. I like that they did this. As we enter the Texas section, you can see this building that's directly in front of us, which is normally used for a haunted house, has been repainted. So it'll be interesting to see as time goes on. I wonder if the rest of these buildings will be repainted, but we'll just have to wait and see. And we are heading this way into the Old South section, which looks like it's got some new flags up, some Texas flags, so I'll let y'all decide how you feel about that, but it is nice just to have a little bit more presence as you walk through. Of course, they've, you know, repainted pretty much every square inch of this little section right here, so it is looking really good. And this kind of is how you have to cut down through the Texas section by Pirates of Spelunker Cave, down towards Tower, all that now. And you can see we're out here at the entrance to Pirates of Spelunker Cave, which you should watch the video we put out just before this to get a more inside look at that. But as you swing around this way, you can see that the fence is still here, and based off of the edits they've made to the map where they just green blobbed this area out, it does look like this is here to stay, unfortunately. So just keep that in mind when you're planning out your day. You do have to kind of use some different pathways. You also lost a restroom, lost a flat ride, so just a bummer all around, but that's about all we're gonna say about that. And just across from that fence we showed you, next to the upcoming Spelunker souvenir stand, you can see we've got another wait time TV. So it does appear that these are kind of just spread out throughout the park. And this one kind of looking like it's in better shape. It does say that Harley Quinn Spinsanity is open on that picture though. So even though it got green blobbed off of the map, we're gonna have to actually go see if that's the case. And we made our way in across from Chop 6 here in the tower section, right by Oil Derrick, and What was once going to be Crazy Crowd Dog, we kind of figured out wasn't going to happen just because it got pulled off of the park map. But it does look like this is going to be home of the original Pineapple Man. And this is actually one of the vendors that they used to have in the Boomtown section. So it looks like maybe they're getting a permanent stand out here, which is really fun. And we're wrapping our way around to the entrance to Roaring Rapids. And I just want to point out real quick, Roaring Rapids still is closed. It's not quite late spring yet, but we're getting real close. But just a heads up if this is something you were wondering about, we're not quite open yet. Made our way into the Boomtown section, and you can see here on the left-hand side, we've got tons of new construction. Kind of where this bar is, you can see they've put a sign up that says Watering Hole, Snacks and Drinks. Now what's interesting is Dusty Dan's used to be called Dusty Dan's Watering Hole, Snacks and Drinks. So it looks like they've taken part of the sign from Dusty Dan's, moved it over here, and they're maybe extending this bar. And I assume it's going to mostly be adult beverages here, but we'll have to wait and see. There's not really much to look at yet. We will kind of wind the corner and take a look though. So looking at this from a little bit of a different angle, it does look like they're just gonna maybe rename this whole bar section with the extension Watering Hole, Snacks and Drinks. So looks like they already got some snacks over there, but not quite sure. But bar is not open today. It just looks like maybe they're turning this into another ice house type of situation where you do have all of the adult beverages, but then of course you do have the snacks that you can purchase as well. It looks like it's still definitely a work in progress. And right out here, just outside of Gunslinger, you can see we've got another wait time TV. It's very busy with school groups here today though, so we're gonna keep on moving. And based off the food lines, I'm gonna say we're probably not eating here today. Way too many school groups here, and they don't have any way to manage it. There's lots of closed food places. So kind of a rough day here at the park, admittedly. We made our way into the older section of Gotham City. You can see people are queued up for Mr. Freeze. It is incredibly packed over there. So not quite sure we're doing that today, but it is nice to see that it's open. I haven't seen it cycle in a minute, so I'm going to pretty much gather that they're running one side, and then just based off of the staffing they've had at the other sections of the park with the food and such, I'm going to assume that's definitely the case with staffing. So, but looks like Batman's running 2 trains, but you can also see that Batman line is starting to queue all the way out here to this little windy park area. So definitely an interesting day to be out at the park. It's not really that busy other than the school groups, but just, you know, normal guests, individual guests, it's not that busy. City bricks say hello. Feed me some refurbishment and tender love and care, please. And I take back what I said earlier about it running one side. They're definitely running 2 sides right now, so it is running very efficiently once it came back online, so very awesome. Alright y'all, so we actually just rode Mr. Freeze Reverse Blast, and we used our virtual Skip the Line pass on the Flash Pass website. And as you know, I've been very critical in the past about how they've been adding imaginary times to those Skip the Line passes. Today, doesn't look like that's the case. We were able to get right onto Mr. Freeze, and very efficient, running 2 sides. And then of course, all the other rides we looked at, it was get on right now. So it looks like maybe they're figuring that out a little bit more, and it's not just completely messing up the whole Skip the Line pass process. Made our way into the newer Gotham City section, and you can see straight ahead another wait time TV. It does look like Riddler Revenge, Catwoman are both operating. I haven't seen Joker go, but that, like I said, today is a really hard day to gauge, you know, what's broken, what's open, because I do think, you know, there are some struggles with the staffing for sure. But let's head around the corner and see what's going on with Harley Quinn Spinsanity, because as far as we know, it doesn't exist. But based off the ride time TV, it does exist, so this is going to be interesting. So just as we expected, Harley Quinn is completely blocked off and not open. And just for some reference, on the website, they've completely removed the ride, and they've also green blobbed it out on the map. And when I say green blob, that's like our new saying, where they essentially just take a green blob that you can see through and put it on random things. So it has been green blobbed, and however, if you look at the wait time TV today, it does say it's a 10-minute wait. So hopefully they get that worked out, because I do think the TVs are a great idea, good investment. Several other parks do them really well, so hopefully it comes together here. One of the big things we were harping on the last time we were here was how they got rid of all the single rider lines. You can see that here at the Joker, they have brought the single rider line back. So it does look like these are slowly starting to filter back in. I have seen it still blocked out at some other rides, but the rides that do have them, we'll try to kind of point out, even though we've made almost a full loop of the park. Aquaman Power Wave, and you can see quite a bit has happened over here at this little splashdown area. You can see they've really rounded out this wall, and the trough is really coming together. They are working on the far side right now. You might be able to see that tractor over there. But the other thing to kind of point out is they've put all these new footers in, and we're kind of guessing that's possibly for some kind of fencing that's going to go up around this, but we will have to wait and see. And just another look at the area we've already seen. This doesn't look to have kind of physically on the outside changed too much. I'm sure there's a lot of electrical work going on with this turntable though, but you can see, like we said in our last video, track is one circuit again, which is great news. And as we've talked about before, Auntie Anne's will be making their debut here at Six Flags Over Texas. You can see this booth is really coming along. It's been completely repainted. They've added new signage since we've been here last. Looks like we're right around the corner from this actually opening up. And we're gonna head into the France section, because the call that they just recently did talked about some improvements they've made in here. So you can see we've got some kind of French themed flower pots down here at the bottom with some flowers in them. But probably the coolest thing is this pirate guy up here and a brand new French flag up top. So looks like they're just adding a little bit of life back to it, to this area. And we do have some new signage on these walls as well. La Chateau de Merchandise. So maybe we're gonna be getting a gift shop of some sort in here. You can see they've got the French flag colors. They put some antlers up here. I know we haven't looked at the USA section quite yet, but we are going to cut back over to the Texas section to go over some changes. Popped over here next to New Texas Giant by the Flash Pass entrance, and you can see the single rider line has been brought back, and they've added some rules. So you will be assigned a seat, no preferred seating, parties may be separated, subject to availability. So there you go. Looks like our single rider lines are slowly coming back. The other important thing to point out is that the barricade that they had over here by Titan to block you off from getting back here is gone. Now, that might not have anything to do with Titan. That could have to do with picnic pavilion stuff, but we'll talk about Titan a little bit once we get closer. And as you can probably see, Titan is still closed. However, a few days ago, they did have a crane out here actually working on the top. So hopefully that crane was pulling new chain up the lift and getting that chain set up. It does look awful shiny up there. I can't tell if that's part of a chain or not, but I do think we are getting very close to this hopefully reopening, because I know it said late spring, so we're there. So everyone be patient. We'll just wait and see what happens. All right, I think we're gonna cut back across to the USA section so we can take a look at the new Looney Tunes Mall stuff before we head out for the day. And as I was cutting across the park to get back over to the USA section, I just wanted to point out this really nice overlook on the creek here does not appear to be a smoking area anymore. They don't have any kind of bench seating or anything, but it's really nice and shaded over here. I'm really hoping that this isn't a happy accident. I do definitely hope that this is just kind of a normal area again where you can relax, because it is very nice. And we've backtracked back to the USA section to end our day here by Looney Tunes Mall. And you can see it's really coming together. Lots of stuff has changed since we've been here. You can see all kinds of color. The new facades have popped out. They've added some tables along here. And we're still definitely in that zone of like really interesting color choices. So I'll let y'all kind of be the judge on that. But it is nice to see this starting to wrap up for sure. And as we were walking along here, we were greeted with this super awesome photo op mural right here on the wall. You can see we've got the old Six Flags logo there. You've got Skull Island, the Astro Lift, Runaway Mountain, LaSalle's River Adventure. You've got Oil Derrick, you've got the Fiesta Train, you've got the original Spelunkers, Shockwave, Southern Palace. You got Shootout up there in the corner. Wow. This thing is really freaking cool. We have popped into Looney Tunes Mall because this is where Katz's Coffee actually got moved to, and it looks like it is operating. They do have some coffee stations, and maybe not fully operating, but almost there. So if you want some coffee or a nice drink, I don't see a full menu or anything yet, but here it is. It is ready to go, and they still sell kind of all the other, you know, fudge and things like that, candy apples, all that. So it looks like nothing was lost with the upgrade either. Can't see along the back wall there. It does look like they're going to have some iced teas. Oh, focus. There we go. You got classic black iced tea, hibiscus raspberry, blackberry jasmine. So I did see a sign here that says coming soon. So not quite open, but looks like we're getting close. This is going to be a nice new addition to the park for sure.
My bad.
All right, everyone, that does it for this trip to Six Flags over Texas. It was definitely a nice, warm, hot day. You might be able to see it a little bit on me, but, you know, threw some sunscreen on and came out. I will say the park does seem to be struggling a little bit on these non-weekend days. I mean, it is a Friday when we're here. But I would say over half of the dining locations were closed. The lines were out the wazoo. We ended up not eating here. It's just not really worth it at that point. And there were a lot of ride closures. However, we do know that Judge Roy Scream is open. It was nice seeing Mr. Freeze running two sides. Mr. Freeze was running strong. By the time you see this video, Pirates of Spelunker Cave will be open. And you can see they're still full force on Aquaman trying to get that thing open and ready. The other thing we noticed is I'm looking at Titan right now from the parking lot. I can actually see someone on the lift hill working on the ride. So to me, that's good news. Hopefully we're right around the corner from that reopening. Probably the most pleasant surprise for me today was what's going on in the France section. Just a little bit of a revival, little themed elements, nothing crazy, but just enough to add something to the area. And it, of course, does look like they are planning on opening some kind of shop there as well. So time will tell when that happens, but on top of that, Looney Tunes Mall, it's coming together. The colors to me are crazy, but I love the idea of kind of where it ended up, a little more modern, a little more sleek, lower profile, and they're building the Katz's Coffee in there. I don't know if it seems like it's going to be called Roller Coaster Coffee, and Katz's Coffee is maybe like the provider, but we'll have to wait and see. They're going to have tea. Looks like maybe they're keeping the fudge there, hopefully, so just another good offering coming right around the bend. We will have to see what's happening to the location that was originally proposed as Katz's Coffee as we move forward. If y'all have any questions about the park, let us know in the comments below. Also, make sure to check out sfotsource.com. That's where you can find tons of information about the park, full history timeline, dining locations, information about the rides, including the all-new Pirates of Spelunker Cave. And make sure to check out the merchandise. We do have a cave line that pays homage to the old original cave ride on there right now, and the people who have bought stuff so far, they've really enjoyed it. So if you have bought something, make sure you let me know on social media. Share some pictures with me. I love to see it. Thank you all for watching. Take care, and we'll see you soon.